Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and wonderful Thursday evening. Today, the 14th of the 12th, 14th of December, 2023. A few days later, we're going to be in 2024. You know, we're heading there. I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. Tonight, with In Review, where we look at some of the top news or the news that we make it. I always say, what is your news? What is your news mean to say that you're the one that made the news. News is what gets the world going. And you look through the eyes of the media houses, or you look through the eyes of persons or so. And that is one of the interesting things. On TikTok, I want to thank you for coming on. On YouTube, I want to thank you for coming on. And on Facebook, thank you for coming on. And of course, if persons believe that they are challenged to want to say something, I'll happily open it on TikTok so you can say something as well. If you want to join in onto the program on the YouTube channel and to be a guest, one is happy. You can happily do that. You can send me a message and I can send you the link, and also on Facebook as well. So yeah, so let's go in, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Herbert, how you doing, buddy?
How are you? I'm all right.
Yeah, good. We haven't seen Garry. Maybe Gary's on the rooftop or something like that. Don't know where he is.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's the 14th of December, and we're heading on to the, what should I say, the end of the year. Um, what do you forecast as the end of the year, politically? Um, in well, there are three. Well, so much things are happening in the world. How do you see the end of the year formulating?
I see the end of the year ending with no adult in the room again to make an informed decision.
You said you said no
No,
adult in the room. Is that what you said?
yeah, yes, to make an informed decision.
you know, keep talking. I was going to come in and say something. Yeah. Mm.
I mean, we have gotten to the point where the courts, who I think um, are most brilliant minds legally, are in
Mm.
charge. But the politicians are telling them, we don't care what you think, we will do what we want to do.
Now, I was listening to Alex Salmon earlier today. Alex Salmon was a former leader of the Scottish SNP, and they were talking about the Middle East with Hamas and Israel, and what came out was he was alluding to that you have all these leaders in the world, and somehow they can't seem to hack it. You know, they can't seem to hack it. We're back again to a high level of of lack of leadership. Maybe Gary has the answer. Afternoon, yeah, Grant.
Well, it's great to be in the presence of Sylbourne and Herbert. I, I feel as if I'm a part of the human race now.
So, is it that mean to say you have dropped down because you're normally in heavenly places?
That could be the case. Yes, that
That
could be
could
the
be the
case.
case. So you're back to earth. You're back to earth. You're back to earth. Gary, I just asked. Well, good evening. I just asked. Herbert, when I was introducing and starting the show, that we are near to the end of the year, and I say, how do you see the unfolding of the end of the year? Formulating. What's before we get in topic? How do you see the end of the year with politics and leadership around the world? Gary, you froze. He froze. You're
Yeah,
there, Herbert. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Gary froze. Yeah, Gary froze. You'll come back, and so Alex Salmon said that, and it was very interesting that many times some of these leaders also, when they're out of power, that is when they speak up on certain things.
Hmm.
Have you ever wondered sometime when you have a, a leadership contest? Gary, you okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what seems to be the problem with this.
Gary,
I
what it
didn't have a
is that
problem.
Gary, what it is that you said you are back on the earthly plane, and because of that, you have lacked the ability to deal with earthly things because you have been in heavenly places. So, what's going-
Oh, dear.
so that was it.
Yeah,
Uh, greetings. Yeah, I was just asking that same point there. I don't know if you remember the question which I asked about how do you see the end of the year unfolding with what is happening around the world now.
Sylvan, you seem to be asking these questions that will take more than 5 minutes to answer, And then when it comes down to the end of the hour, you're saying you have to be rushing things
That's
because you have
that
to
is why
finish.
I asked that is why I asked the question at the start.
Well, this type of question here will take all night. You see?
Gary, just give it. Gary, ask the Lord to give it to you in 4 minutes. Hi, Michelle. Good
No,
afternoon, Michelle. Welcome. Yeah.
I think our world today is in a position that it's never been in before. And I
Mm,
think it's becoming a little bit more erratic.
mm,
Um, I don't think our leaders, especially what what is happening in Israel between Israel and Hamas, I think
mm,
that has made the world a little bit more sensitive
mm,
to a lot of things. I mean, there's been wars, and conflicts before, and even up till recent before the Hamas-Israeli war. It was Ukraine and what was happening in certain parts of Africa. But
yeah.
the thing about it, and I don't know if Herbert would agree, but the thing about it is that the reaction that the world has given the Israeli Hamas is quite different to how the world reacted when other conflicts have happened, because the
Or is happening, or is happening,
uh,
or is happening as well. You say, or is happening at present. Conflict which is happening
yeah,
at present in the world.
yeah,
Yes. Uh-huh.
the conflicts that are happening at present, the reaction that's happening across the globe has never happened, has not happened, but only since
Mm,
the conflict between Hamas and Israel.
mm,
That, and I mean, it's brought the UN almost to a standstill. They're all out against Israel in certain major cities of the world. There are demonstrations against Israel. When it
mm.
comes to, I think it was up to quite recent, when the European Union, the leaders of Europe, they came together and they seems to be turning against Israel. So
Mm.
so there has been a concerted effort against Jews, against Israel. So I think that the world, there is something taking place
Mm.
in during this time that has never ever happened, only but since World War II, when
Yes.
Germany was trying to exterminate 6 million Jews, or did exterminate or kill 6 million Jews.
Mm.
I think that is quite significant. I think that is
Mm.
quite significant around the world today. And, you know, they're saying, like, even, I know it's going to be on, it's one point of your show, and I don't want to jump the gun, but I just want to
Mm.
show that it would seem that even inflation rates, interest rates across the globe, funnily enough, they're either staying the same or they're dropping, and
Yes.
inflation is dropping. That seems to be another significant factor with what is
Mm.
happening now. I don't know if that has any correlation with what's happening in the Middle East. I
Yes.
don't know. But there are certain trends that's happening and that's taking place that seems to be quite extraordinary. But then we'll
Mm.
have to see what happens next year.
Well, it's interesting developments leading on to the end of the year. Someone on TikTok saying, Graham, interesting to see Ireland demonstrating support for Palestine, given how reliant they are on the US. I saw President
Right.
Putin today as well saying that his plan is, until certain plans are in place, he's going to keep going for for Ukraine. And Ukraine has been in America trying to got 200 million from, I know the Republicans are screaming against that, to say, shut down on that. But I want to go back to the UK here now, and there's been some very interesting topic. I think one of the first thing I'll just say, just briefly, is that the big belly man did not actually cut tax. Well, he did not increase the interest rate, Gary. You know, that is the governor of the bank. Yes, kept interest rate as it is, which is a plus factor, isn't it?
It is. It is. I don't know what's going on, really,
Mm,
because I was watching the news this morning, and the
mm,
commentator for one of the news stations was saying that interest rates are more or less staying at 5.25, yes?
5.25. Yes, yes.
And mortgage rates seems to be dropping, and there are signals, it would seem, that 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 those who have the product of fixed rates, that they
Mm,
shouldn't worry. More or less to say, they shouldn't worry because lower rates are on the way. Now, I don't know I don't know how they can make that prediction
yeah.
when the world again seems to be going through some difficulties. I don't know how they can be doing that. You know, that's why I said that there are some extraordinary things that's happening and that's
Yeah,
taking place. So I can't really give any explanation, and I don't know if I can really say, Sylbourne.
yeah,
We just have to wait and see, because there's some indicators that's really um, that is that is being seen,
mm,
that things from what they're saying should get better.
yeah,
How and why, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
But
Herbert, yeah, go on. Sorry, go on. Finish, Garry.
no, sorry. Go ahead, Herbert. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Herbert, what's your take on interest rates? The Bank of England governor said too early to speculate about cuts, says bank boss, but many people are sort of relief in a way because every month or every 2 months you see about interest rates going up, and then recently where they start to give more people pay rise, one would think that interest rates the go away to sort of cushion any inflation. Herbert, yeah.
One of the things that we should look at are the drivers that cause the interest rate to go up and down. And one of the most important things we should look at is the job market,
Mm,
right? We should look at the GDP, how many jobs are the low numbers of unemployment,
mm,
as well as jobs being created, and that is those things. Those two things are two of the things that are the drivers of low inflation. If they can get that under control, um, we will be able to, as they claim, save a few pennies more than what we're
yeah,
doing now.
yeah.
But it is left for them to pitch up the language and put it forward for us to accept.
Mm, mm. Yeah, because the uh, what the say Andrew Bailey spoke after the bank voted to hold interest rates for a third time at 5.25, a 15-year high. It's too early to speculate about when UK interest rates will be cut, according to the governor of the Bank of England. Well, I hope somehow that it will be cut soon. I know a lot of people would have hoped that it would have happened during the Christmas period so they can retain some funds, but I guess they are being very cautious at the same time and working with the Rishi Sunak government, to talk about that. I want to just jump straight from that and look at. I don't know if you guys. I don't know. There was something strange, which is there's a lady named Nicola Bully who was lost. Well, they couldn't find her, you know, and then all of a sudden we're seeing this lady now is missing. Um, and the lady named Gaynor Lord, you know, friend feel terribly overcalled for missing woman, you know. A friend of missing woman Gaynor Lord said she feels terrible after cutting short of phone calls from her on the last day. This lady has been missing, guys, for a few days now, and it's a mystery. I don't know if you guys have been following it, and ladies have been following this. It's a mystery out there. What does that mean?
I saw
Can
it this morning,
mm,
but in today's world where technology leads investigation with so many cell sites around, why
mm,
can't they look at where her last known location was by using the pinging from the cell phone,
yeah.
right? It's good that CCTV can pick her up, but it is equally important for them to check the cellular phone network
Mm,
to see where the phone was last being used to get a closer to see if they could pinpoint her closest um, proximity to wherever she is and find her. You see, we live in an apologetic society where a couple of years from now, the police will be coming out to say, we're sorry, but we thought we had her close, but our efforts were not good enough. And that's not good enough.
Mm. But it's interesting. 'Cause Gary, Friday, she was seen in London Street in Norwich City, heading toward the cathedral. Friday, 4 o'clock. Eyewitness said they saw a woman matching the description of her. Friday evening, Miss Lord is reported missing after failing to return home. Friday evening, when some park is closed to the public. Tuesday, police turned their attention to underwater searches. And Wednesday, police released CCTV of Miss Lord, who was last seen walking up St. Augustine Street. What's your take about this? This is the second one within a year. Of course, people are missing all the while, but these are a bit high profile. Yeah, Gary, if Gary's there, Gary, are you frozen? Gary's frozen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
fell asleep.
You gotta say Gary fell asleep. Yeah, but yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad what has happened. And the family. Gary, you're back, yeah? I see you fell asleep a while ago, Gary. Discarded positions along the way. She took off her jewelry, they says. So where did she go? You know? Did she go in the water or so?
I think one thing I can credit America for is that when they have cases like these, the first place they start from is within the home, and the last place they finish is within the home.
Did you say a criticism of America, or do you think that
No,
what's one of the good
what
things about America?
one of the good things in America,
Mm,
they start and finish in the home.
yes. So there's always something. I think there's always something along the way, something happening.
Yeah. Always something going on, something amiss.
Mm,
Um, where police need to get more critical in their invest, investigation.
mm. Wow, wow, wow. Well, we hope that they find her, and hope that all be well. Well, find her alive, and
Yeah,
family, and find her alive as well. I mean, it's interesting that there's a young man which has been missing for 5 6 years, named
7 years.
uh
7 years.
7 years. Young man called Alex Batty.
Yeah.
So a 17-year-old British boy from Oldham who went missing in Spain in 2017 has been found in France. You know that must be a sort of, what should I say? Uh, what would the Magdalene? What would the Madeline? What would her family be
Madeleine.
saying? The family would be saying,
Well,
their family would be going
so
for it and say, let's intensify the search.
Sylbourne,
Yeah.
let me say this. I think that family should be happy that the police believe them,
Mm,
believe their story,
yes.
because I do not think half the British public believe them.
Mm,
So they should be happy that the police believe their story.
yes. I must say, the Alex Bartley headline, you have to chuckle. Somebody say you have to chuckle. Um, you know, 17-year-old British boy from Oldham who went missing in Spain 2017 had been found in France. 17. Alex Bartley was found in the town of Revel, east of Toulouse. Magdalene was lost in Portugal.
Yes.
Wow. 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 And many people have said that they have had sightings of her. So I'm sure the mommy and daddy will be looking for her. And what do you guys say? Graham. You know, I mean, lots of people
Yeah.
have been missing along the way. Yeah.
A lot of people have been missing, but it is up to who the police believe and who they don't.
Yeah, Gary, I know you've been having some difficulties there, but we 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 have asked the Lord to sort of anoint your microphone or something
He's,
like that.
he's having difficulty staying awake.
I won't retort. I will not
Yeah.
respond to that.
Yes.
I'll just I'll just I'll just continue as if I never hear that.
Yes. Yes.
Um, you know what I think still?
Yeah.
And I mean, um, I know that it is an ongoing investigation. It's sad. It's sad that I hope that she's alive. I hope that she is alive with her clothes, her bag, and her phone, which has been found,
Yes.
which I find very strange. I think
Mm.
everybody finds that strange. And even with the CCTV, um, that has been um, shown on the televisions where she's seen crossing the roads, yeah, and walking quite briskly,
Yes.
and even to the extent of running. Now, I don't know. It would seem as if she is running to go somewhere or she's running to meet
Yeah.
someone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that she's alive. I think
It,
she's alive.
yeah.
I really believe that.
It was interesting how she made those moves, those running moves or so, Herbert,
I don't
how would you deal with that from the start now as well if a missing person?
Um, Normally, investigating a missing persons case, they start at the home.
Mm.
Now, someone don't just go missing just like that. There's
Mm.
a history,
Mm.
um, history of domestic violence or something,
Yeah.
but they have to start within the home.
Mm.
They have to finish within the home. In
Wow.
that case, I think they have to get a body language expert to
Wow.
analyze the images.
Mm.
That
Wow.
means that's the only way they can go forward.
Yes. 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 Well, we as I said before, we hope that they find her and all be well and so. But hey, I think one of the big news of this week is Rishi Sunak and the Rwanda bill. I mean, we can't get rid of the Rwanda bill. We can't get rid of Rwanda. Gary. The government has comfortably seen of a revolt against the flagship Rwanda bill. The vote passed by 313 to 269, a majority of 44. And what they said, no Tory MPs voted against the bill, but party sources suggest 24 chose not to vote for it. The proposed law seeks to revive the Rwanda bill, which was ruled unlawful by the Supreme Court last month. Why would you say that the government is still flogging this? I'm not going to say flogging a dead horse, but flogging this particular bill and wheel and come again, as they say. James Cleverly, the Home Secretary, was recently in Rwanda, fine tuning it and setting up in place. Is it that they have found a solution in a way while everybody is against a solution? The solution might not be what everybody want, but I know we have talked about Rwanda bill a lot of time. I know we have saying what's wrong with Rwanda, and but the government is pressing it. Is there something in it that we are missing?
Yeah, they want to justify that £300 million being spent.
The 300 is it 300?
Yeah, three
Oh,
hundred million. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
So they have to
Um,
put it through. Yeah.
if
Go on. Mm.
if the lawyers, if the High Court, which we should all have belief and faith in, say that it's not safe to be in Rwanda. It's not even safe for a child to be born in Rwanda.
Mm.
How can it be safe for people running for their lives to be sent back or to be sent to Rwanda?
Mm.
Is it that the government is trying to entice the judge that because they have faith in it, the judge must believe that there is something good in it?
Someone said, "Is this to satisfy the right of the party and a misguided attempt to save the Red Wall streets?"
I think that's what it is. But one must remember, Sylbourne, that during COVID, a couple £100 million went down the drain
Mm.
because of incompetence. Is
Mm.
this another case of incompetence, or I would say senile moments?
Yes. Mm. It is a very interesting period, and those on TikTok, please like and share, and please share this video as well, and let me hear your views as well. And if you want to come in as at it, Gary, I was doing a little research, and they're talking about Rwanda, and where is it here? It says here, I got something here. What it says: Rwanda, like any country, faces its own set of challenges. It grappled with deep rooted issues historically, particularly tragic genocide in 1994 that resulted in the loss of hundreds of thousands of lives. Since then, the country has made remarkable strides in building itself. Today, Rwanda continues to work on several fronts to improve its society and economy. Um, Rwanda, I'm asking the question again. I know I've asked it many times before. Um, Is it Rwanda an improved country that the UK government want to work with, or is it a country which, in a way, they are capitalizing on the past to ensure that it comes alive for it to be a deterrent?
Well, I mean, if the government believe that Rwanda is a changed country,
Mm,
it's good that they believe it,
yeah,
because the pe- the the people in Rwanda, the Rwandans, I do not think they believe that Rwanda is a changed country.
we need a Rwandan. We need someone who is in Rwanda. Gary,
You,
are you? Can
no man,
you speak in?
you don't need anybody to come from Rwanda to speak up for Rwanda, man. I mean, I've already said this to you. I don't have anything against Rwandans. I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
anything at all against them. But look at history. Look at what's happened down there.
Mm,
Look at
mm,
what's happened down there. And and um, it's not, the history is not good. History is not good. And I wouldn't feel safe down there. Never mind because you see, once anything starts happening down there again, just like if anything happened, and anything can happen in the United Kingdom, that's fine. Anything can happen in the United States. Anything can happen anywhere at all. But when the UK sends people to Rwanda, they can then say the responsibility is not ours. Anything happens down there, it's not our responsibility. It's that of the Rwandan government. Do you
mm.
understand what I'm saying? And because what happened down there, because of the genocide and all of that, I mean, it wasn't. It's not a nice history.
Mm,
And I wouldn't want to go down there myself.
mm.
I wouldn't choose that to be a place I'd want to go on holiday. Why is the British government wanting to send people there? What is the reason? Tell me. Out of all the countries in the world, why have they chosen Rwanda to send? I've always advocated that they stay here anyway. But
Yeah.
why Rwanda? That's what I would like to know.
Well,
All of
There's
a
a
Herbert.
sudden
saying,
Rwanda
Mm,
is to be. Huh?
there's a saying that if you continue to tell a lie, even yourself will be convinced that lie is true,
Mm.
right? And no matter what narrative, no matter what, no matter how they want to fix it and sell it or wrap it and sell it, the issue is the same.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
problem still exists in Rwanda where anything can happen at any time. For example, there's a cross-border conflict with Congo
Yeah. What's going on? What? Yeah.
because
What's going on? What's going on with Congo and Rwanda? Because a few people have been talking about that, and it's like it's been skimmed over.
members of the Tutsis are in Congo and the Hutsis are pursuing them. Factions of the Rwandan government are going after the Tutsis because they started the genocide.
Hang on a second. So, who is in charge in Rwanda now? The Hutus? The Hutus or what?
Um, I'm not even sure what Kigami is because
Uh,
they're all tribal.
So why are they going into Congo?
Because Congo is offering safe haven for that part of the rebel group.
Yeah. Has the DRC a stable government? Someone said. Has the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, a stable government? Because I mean, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, the United Nations have understood, have placed people in Rwanda. The UK is seeking to place people in Rwanda, but at the same time, in an international sphere where the United Nations is on board, when I say on board, is eyes all over the world. Why is that bit is not coming up? Is it some alternative facts going on around? Some sort of conspiracy? Why is it?
It's
Yeah,
it's not conspiracy, but
yeah, just putting that
there
out.
there are people who are afraid of speaking up because they may lose their privilege or lose whatever they're getting from a particular country or government,
Yes, yes,
right? And because of Rwanda's history and and their background, nobody wants to speak up. Nobody wants to be a part of that piece of history. So,
so nobody wants to
as I
be that
said
guy.
before, they rather keep quiet.
Yes. You see what they're saying. Additional, there might be ongoing political and social tensions, as is commonly in many developing nations. However, the government has shown commitment to addressing these issues through various
Says
initiatives
who?
and reforms.
Says who?
Yeah. It's essential to acknowledge both the progress and the challenges Rwanda faces. The country has made impressive advancement in economic development, technology, and government despite its difficult history. The president was in Jamaica and was lauded in Jamaica as a very developing African state amidst the
Sylbourne.
yeah.
Jamaica accept anybody.
You can use Jamaica as a litmus test then.
No, no. You cannot use Jamaica as an example,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
The Jamaica will accept anybody. Right now, if Putin should end up in Jamaica, they will accept him.
Uh, mm,
So you cannot use that as your benchmark.
mm, mm.
Okay? What Rwanda is,
Yeah.
I maybe they're trying to change your image,
Yeah.
but I do not think they're going far enough. Remember, it was just in 2019, 2020, the the guy that was in the hotel during the genocide, he was arrested on terrorism charges. He was lured from Texas to somewhere in Europe where he was arrested. You're mute,
Mm.
right? So one begs to ask a question: are they going after their opponents?
Mm.
Are they trying to silence people that are in the know, or are they trying to um, put a plaster over a sore? What?
See, Gary and Herbert, we're gonna get some expert in Rwanda to dig into this more, because I want to move away from this, but I want Gary to come in and say something. But one of the key things, what they say is that next year, this matter is gonna come back up again. You know, it's as MPs retreat, Commons Party after all of it, the Prime Minister will have to, it's coming back again next year. Why Sunak won the bill battle isn't over. It's not over. But there are so many other. I mean the vote. I don't know if you guys checked the vote. The Labour voted against it, and the Conservative voted for it. No Conservative voted against it, and whosoever maybe had issues with it, they abstained. So therefore, it is now becoming a political football, right, Gary? It's a political football, and it's
Well, it
and
is.
yeah. Mm, mm,
It is a political football, and you know, it's not going to go away for now.
yes,
It's not going to go away for now, my brother. It's going to be there, and it's dividing the Conservative Party.
yes. Herbert,
It's dividing the
yeah,
Conservative Party.
yeah. Herbert, let's find that
Mhm.
professor guy on Rwanda, and I'm gonna try to do
Yeah,
my
I'll try and reach him.
yeah, and get a Rwandan, because we're talking about it, but we need to get somebody from the inside. Want to get not a government person, but people on the street for it and against it. Well, that's a for it and against it. I mean, what is Rwanda now? What is it like since the genocide and since the fight, and what is happening in Congo? Because I've seen a few of videos regarding Congo. You know, somebody said it's an interesting topic. Be great to hear Rwandan insight. It's dividing the party will Sunak last until the next election. Well, to be honest with you, it don't make sense Sunak go. If Sunak goes, might as well call election then, isn't it, Gary? If Sunak decide to go and they want an election, might as well just call election.
Well, I
I mean,
think, I
yeah,
mean, don't you see what they're trying to do? Don't you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to push him out.
they're trying to push him out. Mm,
Yeah, I think so.
mm, mm.
Don't you think so, Herbert?
They're just kicking the can down the road.
So he's what Sunak has become a can.
He's an empty barrel.
Huh?
Empty barrel. Empty barrel.
The guy has no substance.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how that fold. We're gonna see it. It's gonna be live in living colors. It's gonna be an interesting time next year for the election, and that's gonna be a fantastic thing. But listen, Jamaica. Let's touch on Jamaica, Gary. Gary gonna say, why are you gonna talk about Jamaica and crime now? 15 minutes before we say it's a hot topic that. But I have to touch on this tackling crime in Jamaica because I'm sort of bewildered, and Jamaica is an international topic. Jamaica is an international thing. I just wonder why, Herbert, why, Gary, that if there's crime in a country, that the two parties don't sit down and say, come on, man, let us sit down and deal with this thing. Let us sit down and work on this thing. Let us go to Vale Royal and work and find a solution to this scourge. You got somebody was setting out recently, they got two young persons. They were in scamming. I understand they were scamming, but they were killed, Gary, right and they were videoed, and they were being they were somebody was covering them with earth, and then it hit me and said, "Hang on a second, it's like they're trying to send a message out there. Don't you dare mess with us, or this is what you're gonna get." Remind me of those Bible days, or those days when they used to cut off someone's head and place them on a stake. So everybody, the gates of the city, and everybody would walk past and say, "That's what's going to happen to you." It's
You
like
mean here in England?
sorry.
Here in England?
Okay, is it here in England? Okay,
Yes.
yes. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, killing has become a commonplace in Jamaica now,
Mm,
right? And as I've said to you before, Jamaicans or some Jamaicans try to justify their actions, try to justify the reasons why some people should be killed or should be
mm,
taken out of society.
mm.
And that cannot be allowed to happen. It has been going on for centuries,
Yeah.
right? And now it's gotten to the point where even the children are getting involved.
You told me the other day that some young guy was when the police was trying to talk to him, he was actually 11-year-old guy attacking the police.
Yeah, it's it's not unusual for it to happen.
Mm,
Because remember, one of the drivers, one of the things that drive crime is that there are too many um, grandparents raising their grandchildren.
mm,
So the rules that that their parents saw when they were growing up are no longer around because the grandparents love their grandchildren more than their own children. That they will do anything to aid them in their life of crime.
so you're trying to say the grandparents are now also indirect perpetrators of crime?
Of course,
But they ever call a
of
spade a
course.
spade. That's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Gary, what's your take on the crime issue in Jamaica, Gary?
I don't know if I have an opinion on that, you know. I mean, I think that the um, for me to be able to make an impact on the crime on the island of Jamaica, I
Yeah.
think you're gonna to me, I think you'd have to probably go back a little way back to see where it's coming from,
Yeah.
because I think to address the crime, you're gonna have to go into the political mire of it all, because I think it's more probably politically generated. But at the same time,
Mm,
because things have evolved in Jamaica over a little while, probably it may not be so much that anymore. There may be other things that's driving the crime rate more now than it did, say, from the 1980s, 1970s, 75, 80s, you know? So we'll have to, if anybody, if the government really wants to tackle the crime, then it will somebody serious who really wants to tackle it will
mm,
really have to dig up some muck. And to dig it up and to dig up the muck is not only in the last 20 years or 23 years. You're going to have to go back to the 1970s,
mm,
75s, and then show where it's coming from, why it took place, and why we are where we are today. And who wants to really rake up that muck? I don't know if Herbert would agree with that, but I think that, you know, that to me, to solve certain problems of
mm.
society or of anything really, certain things you're gonna have to go back, if you can,
And dig deep
to
down.
the root.
Mm.
Yes, you have to do that, because you just can't do a superficial thing. You just can't tackle things from the surface. You can't do that. You won't get anything done.
Um, Herbert, Mocha. what's your take on Mocha? Somebody's asking me, what's your take on Mocha?
I think the government and the JCF over the years, I would say since 1980 when they came up with eradication squad, which then became acid and anti-crime. I think they spend too much money on 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 sections of the police force creating squads
Yeah.
that they've lost the essence of crime fighting.
Yeah.
And Mocha is one such body to me.
What's the
Because
meaning? What's the meaning of Mocha again? What's Mocha again?
it's major organized crime. Let me let me check it. But
Yeah.
I think
Echo as well. Mm. You see,
let
you
me
see,
let me
you
check
see.
it.
Yeah, while you're checking it, you see, Gary. One of the things I was looking at the other day, I don't know if I shared it with you, was I think I did a
It's,
brief video about it.
it's
Was just talking about the fact.
major organized crime and anti-corruption agency.
Okay, okay, thanks. With the killing of these two young persons, of course, many people always say it out, and rightly they say that the mother was trying to um, separate the girl from the son. The son was more a good guy. The girl was really into some bad things, some scamming or whatever. She's been involved with police. But I keep hearing that a lot. And the more I keep hearing it a lot, it's like many people are saying that, okay, you lie with fleas, you lie with dogs, you get fleas. So maybe she calls it upon herself. But I started to think about it for a while by thinking that is it that people are trying to justify some aspects of killing? Because Jamaica is not a state which has capital punishment being acted on. It's on the books, isn't it? My Herbert, it's on the books.
Yes,
It's not
yes,
acted on. And also Jamaica is not a proponent of jungle justice where people go on. So therefore, the reality is that, and this is the reality, and this is how the law is, if someone kills someone and they found out that they killed the person, not in a self-defense area, it is not for the state to kill this person unless they're going to um, evoke the capital punishment act. But that person would be sentenced, go to trial, and be sentenced and go to prison for X amount of years, just like is what's happening with Vibes Cartel, even though they said they haven't found a body, and even the boy, or I should say the boy or the crazy guy who killed I think his sister and all those pitney.
is cause was it his cousin
Yeah,
and her children?
yeah. He's alive, isn't it? He's in prison.
Yeah,
He's in prison. So that's the thing. So therefore, it cannot be justifiable for anybody killing someone in Jamaica, Gary. But the question now is that it's happening a lot. Is it happening
yes,
because is it happening because there's more exposure to social media and camera, or is it a
no,
different level of crime? Tell me, Herbert.
no,
Yeah.
no. Let's go back to 1980, 70s, 80s. It
Yeah.
was politics.
Mm.
We moved from politics to organized crime.
Yes.
Jim Brown, Dodos, all those people. So you're
Mm.
talking about drugs and drugs importation and export, right?
Yeah.
Then we
Mm.
move from that to our reliance on importation of firearm, protecting turf and protecting certain people, right?
Mm.
Then we move from that into scamming. And
Yes.
scamming, I think, has been the worst of them all.
Mm.
Because when in the 80s, 90s, children and women were off limits.
Mm.
Now, this scamming, not even your mongrel dog is safe anymore. Because when they go, anything that they see, they will eliminate. It doesn't matter.
Dogs, cat, everything, anything that
It
moves.
doesn't matter, right?
Mm.
We are also seeing where the police are in bed with these scammers
Mm.
because the police are involved in this scamming as well.
Yes.
Okay? So we can dance around and we can put on all kind of fancy argument all we want. But that the scamming along with the informal culture that they have in Jamaica,
Mm.
yes, are what is driving up the murders in that island. And until the mindset of the people can be readjusted,
Yeah.
we will continue to see parents putting their children in the grave.
Yes.
And some parents are too happy, too proud to be doing it because the children have left a fortune.
Mm. Wow. Wow. So it's Gary. What's your take on what Herbert just said?
Well, I mean, I won't say anything against what Herbert has said. I mean,
Mm.
he's the expert on that.
On TikTok, somebody just is saying after the Mexican plane landed at Rocky Point, the story quickly died. The plane is still there. Surely all the gangs are mapped. I think Herbert, you mentioned that there's certain amount of gangs in Jamaica.
Yeah, they're the largest employer in Jamaica. The 365 up until December last year active criminal gangs.
And you say,
And
300.
we're not talking about the police yet, right?
mm,
The police itself, to me, has elements of criminality in it. And
mm,
I will challenge anybody to say otherwise.
mm,
So how can the police have such high level of criminality in it? Yet they're depending on people to come and tell them where the crime is happening.
yes, yes. As
Wow.
someone said, why is so difficult to go to the root? I know Lester came on the show the other day, and Lester always says this: if they are willing and they're ready to deal with crime, they can, if they want to. But is it that a situation whereby all hands are somewhat dirty? If one party goes for it and the other party pushing it, the other party is going to say, "We know enough things about you." It's like they need to be a complete clean house, wrapping up.
So how you gonna clean out silver?
Huh?
How do you envision that they clean house?
Well, one of the things to clean house is actually a new. You see, you see, like okay, let's say that the parties are somewhat involved. Well, the structure is so involved. I mean, I'm not going to juxtapose, but there's a guy, a dreadlocks guy in the UK here. He sings with the King's Guard or the Queen's Guard, or the King's Guard or so, and he was racially discriminated, and he left the job. And they
No,
asked
the job left him. He
the job,
didn't need the job.
yeah, the job
The
left him.
job left him.
And this is what he said. They asked him the question, "Do you think the army is institutional racist?" And he said yes. So therefore, let's put that back to Jamaica. Are we saying that the structure in Jamaica, with all the things, have a high level of corruption, high level of
Yes,
scamming? Because
yes,
if you look at the show, which was called Training Day, the word scamming was never used in it, but that was a high level of scamming, isn't it? With
Sylbourne.
yeah,
If it walks like a duck, look like a duck, shape like a duck, quack like a duck, it is a duck.
yes,
Let's not get too carried away with it. It is a duck, right? And in Jamaica, everybody, every government department, what is in it for me?
yeah,
Yeah? And until Jamaicans, and I mean Jamaicans everywhere in the world, can get out of that mindset of what is in it for me and go about doing things the correct way, murders will continue to rise. Robberies will continue to rise. And when you see all those things happening, it will affect the GDP.
Yes.
Murders will double.
Well, you know what? I really hope somehow that, I mean, one is not going to get rid of the mainstream parties for now. Um, and I just really hope for now, and my encouragement is that the, the the two sides of the political divide, the PNP and the JLP, need to come together and to really try to capture the essence of not what is the matter, not what is the source, not what is the root, but just to deal with it. Because as someone said, there's the root is there. There's no difficulty with finding the root, but it's actually the will. Bankruptcy of the will fuels crime. You know
Well,
what's wrong? What's wrong with the whole issue of the Vale Royal talk when these guys used to sit down and talk and try to justify? What's wrong with the SOE? Finding out where are the shortcomings so they can all sit and agree to it together.
the shortcomings of the SOE is that the militarization of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is flawed. Where when I was in the service, we used to have community policing. We used to go into the communities, create police youth clubs. We used to have
Yes.
community functions, right? Where people would see the face of their local police officers and have a relationship with them. Now, the militarization of the police force, you no longer have that police car driving through the community, right? You no longer have that policeman walking the local street, walking into the banks or supermarkets, and that's not happening anymore because everybody's now mobile.
They got a
Face
new
well
uniform as
covered.
well.
Pardon?
They also got a new uniform as well.
No, what they have is what used to be a fatigue when we were going out on a raid to an early morning raid or something. And the current commissioner of police, who is from the army, has brought the army into the police force.
Okay.
Right? So couple that with with the training, the watered down training that the police is now getting. What do you expect to happen?
Yeah. Right. Well. Peter Bunting once said, "Divine intervention." Is that what it needs?
It can find divine intervention all you want, but unless the politicians will be brave enough to come forward, hold up their hand and say, "Yes, I am complicit." Unless they can come forward and say, "Yes, I gave comfort to this gunman and to that gunman," we will not be able to see in our lifetime, see Jamaica for the paradise it is supposed to be.
Well, one of the things that is out there is that there are 6 members of parliament, or 6 senators, or 6 part of the industry of the ministry. 6 of them are being investigated for illicit enrichment, and
Well,
nobody knows
it's been
officially.
out there for a year.
Huh?
It's been out there for a year.
Yes.
And they shall remain nameless. Because these are the men and women who hold the key to your election victory.
Yeah.
Are you willing to give up your election victory because you're going to name them? And this is
Michelle,
what I
yeah,
say
yeah, go on.
about the informal culture in Jamaica.
Yeah. Michelle Clark says the whole political system is corrupt. It's not only Jamaica alone. Every nation just does the corruption in a different way. And people can say that I'm a conspirator. What is happening is all a part of the agenda. Michelle, what agenda is this? Graham
Well,
said, I heard that Malahoo doesn't really embrace overseas support. Well, there's a lady that said she wanted to support the crime fighting. Um, Rattigan said he wanted to support the crime fighting. Mark Shields came, he said he wanted to support crime fighting. I think he gave up and just get married to a pretty girl at Jamaica.
well, just just like Stella went to Jamaica and got her proof back,
You
Mark
gotta
Shields
do
went
it.
and got his proof back.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with Michelle, right?
Mm,
But what we need to do, or what we need to stop doing, is to look over in other people's fences
yeah.
and look at their problem. We need to look in our backyard to see how we can solve our problem,
Yes.
right? Our children are being hurt.
Mm,
Their, the children have collateral damage. Their parents are being taken away from them.
mm,
So they're left without no proper guidance.
mm.
And as a result of that, they too are seeking revenge. So how do we move from there? By looking into other people's backyard. We have to look in our backyard to fix
Yeah.
our own business.
I will always say that, and rightly what you said, it's very important that one looking and keep the focus on our yard, as much as possible. Politics is really politics, serious laugh. That's I guess she gave a Wilmot Perkins laugh there to a certain extent. But I guess we got to keep following this up. We got to keep following this up as much as possible, and support Jamaicans back home, because one of the things that Jamaicans back home is also saying is that they are somewhat uh, scared of talking up and sharing certain things, because when you listen to the guys them who killed the Moody brothers, the brother and the sister, someone was pointing out the socks that he wore, the shoes that he wore, the fact that he got a cut on his feet, on his leg. You know, people know who these guys are, but nobody now gonna say nothing, isn't it, Herbert?
Well, I do not buy this story about don't know who to report to when everybody in Jamaica has a mobile phone and
Yes.
everybody in Jamaica has has a number for, or most people in Jamaica has a number for a senior police officer.
Mm, mm,
The JCF has 10,000 members in it.
yeah.
You must can find one member out of that 10,000 that you can trust
Yes.
to say something to.
Mm.
They're not all that bad.
You see?
So
Yeah, go
this
on.
notion of don't know who to speak to, you're adding to the problem as well.
Mm. You know, the more people try to preserve their life, they're gonna be killing off their lives, because as I look at what happened with those couple, when I look at what happened with Philip Powell's daughter and his baby mother, I heard that two brothers also got killed. Um, if it start to continue, well, it's continuing. If it start to keep going and building and people pull back, then one day it's gonna really come close to your house, close to you, home to you, and then that time is gonna get a bit too late, because guess what? Well, I hear that when the beryllium, what's that van there?
Yeah, beryllium, yeah.
They say when people see that van drive up now, they move far away from it.
I mean,
They don't want to be
the,
too close.
the owners of that company
Yes.
have done their employers, the employees an injustice,
Mm.
right? Go back to the day when we were young living in Jamaica. When you see money being transported, you see a proper vehicle,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That that could withstand a mosquito bite.
Mm.
These ones know if as much as the ants bite them, they cannot move
Mm.
because they're able ineffective. And that is why they're being targeted. They have no protection. They're protecting what needs to be protected, but who is protecting them? Their employers are not protecting them because what they do is buy the cheap vehicles from Japan,
Mm.
right? Pretty them up and send them go kill themselves,
Yes.
right? They do not pay their employees, or this eater food mentality in Jamaica has to
Yeah.
stop,
Yes.
right? You pay someone $1 million a year, but they want 10. They're
Mm.
not qualified to make $10 million a year.
Yes.
You're qualified to make one, if so much. And as
You
a
know.
result of that, you're
Mm.
going to put other people's life at risk because you want that one time. You want to get rich in one evening.
Yeah. You know what Michelle just said a while ago? The only way we can change the problem of Jamaica is by educating the regular citizens. The regular citizens are ignorant to it all, you know. And it's not just about the crime factor; it's also about the
No,
whole constitution, the reform of the constitution. Should I say it? Well, I'm talking with someone high level to deal with to maybe do a program every 2 weeks on the constitution and freedom of expression and all these sort of things, because Jamaica is now talking about having a hate speech law, just like what the UK have. But many people are saying that um, it is maybe the government is trying to use it as a way to keep them out of people, for people to shut up or try to catch them out. You know,
yes, because
but
the prime minister is an author is an authoritarian.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Gary, we need a benedict. We need a benediction, Gary. We need maybe you might just go back. You might go back to heaven and leave us here as you did before.
I don't know. I don't know. I am with all that is happening in our world today. It's there's nothing much good that we can say, is there? Really,
Mm,
as
mm.
far as I can say. You
You're
know.
right, because I mean, look at it. I mean, we Gary. I mean, you said it a while ago. There's Venezuela, and there is and Guyana, which is at this tiff, and a revelation came to me also is that a report said Guyana is on the trench on the threshold of maybe the massive and most biggest oil thing, big. But then Venezuela is saying, let's all talk. So Venezuela already sort out the map, you know. They set out their map already, you know. Take out 2/3 of Guyana already, you know. So Guyana is now 1/3 1/3 of what they had before,
I tell you,
according to
I
Venezuela.
I
Yeah,
told you guys that Guyana is a long lost relative that didn't have anything,
yeah,
and then go win the lotto, and everybody comes. Remember, say me and your cousin for a long time.
yes,
Remember
yeah,
me?
yes. But can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? If Guyana sorted out itself and Guyana is the person, I think that Guyana should actually give every citizen shares in that company, shares in the oil business. You know, that is what should have happened 1962 and earlier when the abolishment of slavery, because guess what? Up to 2015, people in the UK of descendants of African slaves um, were also paying these white guys for the money that they lost through the insurance thing. I
Yeah,
think
but
it's a,
Guyana shouldn't be.
huh?
Guyana should not be made to be paying for these things.
Yeah,
Guyana didn't enslave anybody,
yeah.
did they?
But what I'm talking about is that the people of Guyana to be a part of the whole process, whereby this amount of money or business or the threshold of what they are getting now, they should be a part of it, not waiting for next thing a new minister, a new government comes in and take it. They should be partners in the whole thing. Give the people a leg up. People keep
But
people yeah, people keep getting screwed left, right, and center.
wouldn't that be amounting to communism?
Giving the people something.
Yeah.
No, I think you start off with something. That doesn't mean to say they're gonna get everything. If somebody have 5 talent and they don't use the 5 talent and go bury some of it, well, that's dog them supper. But at least everybody
Because
get a part of it and feel somewhat um that this is my Guyana, this is my oil, I'm a part of it. Just like when land was left in Jamaica, all that land should have been a portion to the people of Jamaica and give them a leg up. If someone want to be lazy and let it be and let somebody take it, let them take it or so like that. I'm talking about giving a leg up.
I mean, Guyana will now find themselves in a position where their unemployment rate will be the lowest in the region
Mm,
if if handled properly,
yes.
right? That doesn't mean that um you're gonna hand out everybody give something everybody like Father Christmas.
Yeah. You need to join TikTok, because these conversations now, 'cause Gary won't go sleep, we need to go on TikTok, 'cause lots of people over
Your
on
girl
TikTok.
needs some coffee tea, man.
A lot of people over on TikTok, we need to finish this conversation. Herbert, you need to let me get your account for TikTok, let me sign you up for TikTok and get you on the TikTok, because it's past 10:17 and Gary a buck from, and Gary buck no further, you know what I mean?
Your girl wanting coffee tea.
you know. But I got to go now. We got to wrap. Sorry, Gary.
I will not be drawn in on your conversation, not tonight.
Not tonight. I noticed you're back. I noticed you're backing out a lot tonight. I'm trying to say you're backing out a lot tonight. But listen, Herbert, I'm going to have to sign. I'm signing up on TikTok. Gary's all the way on TikTok, Gary big on TikTok, Gary about
Is it?
20
Oh Lord.
in the spirit, you know. But conversation like this, I'll have to continue, and I'll have to do some private Zoom discussions with you, Gary, and persons who want to get into some serious things, because we got as Michelle kept saying, education, 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 and I'm planning to do some programs on constitutional reform with someone from Jamaica. Education, education, education. And then if we keep the momentum going, the more people can hear these things and can educate themselves, then they can understand that they've got the power to remove MPs, to set up MPs, because the Constitution right now does not allow for people to recall. You can't recall people in.
No.
So therefore, the Constitution needs to be amended. The Constitution in Jamaica, and people need. Even somebody was saying about Isaac Buchanan, even what he did. Somebody was saying he made a bad move by apologizing, because he should have fought a bit regarding his constitutional right, freedom of expression to a certain way, even though freedom of expression comes with responsibility at the same time, So there's so much that need education, 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 and it's incumbent upon us, as breath is in our body, that we have to say it, because a lot of people are feeling shut up, shut down, and can't say nothing because their livelihood depends on it, so they don't want to rock the boat. But if we can actually keep saying these things and letting people hear, then the more they wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, then they can make a difference. Where's Herbert? Yeah.
I mean, I think Jamaicans have been sleeping for so many decades. It's hard for you to wake them up,
Hmm. Yes.
right?
Yep.
It's hard
Yeah.
for you to wake up someone who is sleeping, whose mind is not intellectually mature
Yes.
for them to understand what you're trying to say to them.
Yes. 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 All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday Friday night, Thursday night. I want to thank you so much for joining today. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, those on TikTok and Facebook. I think I'm going to stay on TikTok a bit. Herbert is going to create an account and jump over in a few minutes. Garry, you're live. You're on TikTok. Everybody knows it. Michelle, jump over on TikTok for a few seconds. Let's have a little discussion with a couple persons there, about Jamaica and everything like that. And Saturday night, we'll be back. Christmas coming. What me know I'm Yama. Christmas come on Yama. What is Yama? Christmas come on Yama. What is that? What was that?
It's an animal, you know.
I don't want an animal. Christmas come on Yama. Do we sing that?
Yeah, it's an animal.
Sometimes we sing some foolishness and we don't understand it until we become big. What is that? What does that mean? Mwama Yama. Garry, Christmas come on Yama. You want that?
I'm going to send it to you. It's an animal.
It's an animal.
Yeah.
So you want an animal for your Christmas? All right.
Check your WhatsApp. It's an animal.
It's an animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
You send it? I didn't see it.
Yeah. I sent it to the wrong person.
You sent it to Garry? Yeah.
No, Gary don't think so. I'm good.
Okay.
Just send it to you. Check your WhatsApp.
Okay. It's not it's not coming through now. Let's leave that one there because I have to sign up and blah blah blah. I don't know what that is. Yeah. All right, Herbert, Garry, we'll see you around, okay? And we will talk again in future before Christmas, definitely. And Garry, put you to bed with the benediction. All right.
All right, Fitzy.
I think Garry froze. Yeah, Garry has been having a difficulty with his Wi-Fi today. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see what Michelle says here. Okay, Michelle, jump over on TikTok. Garry's Herbert is gonna come on TikTok. He's gonna sign up and come on TikTok. All right.
Sylbourne,
Peace
I'm
out.
going to work at 2:00 in the morning.
Okay. Cool. All right. We talk, yeah? Peace
Yeah.
out. Bye-bye, guys.
Peace.
Everybody. Cheers. Thanks.
Let's go.